Imagine walking outside and nothing in your garden is expensive, but everything feels like memory. A piece of driftwood becomes a tiny archway, wrapped in green vines like nature built a doorway just for you. An old stump glows softly from the inside, as if something is quietly alive there. Pebbles curve like a river through wild flowers, even in a yard no bigger than a parking space. Lantern light waits in a little stone circle where you can sit at the end of the day and breathe. This isn't a showroom. This is a place you made with your hands. You're watching Mind Over Decoration, a slow corner of the internet where we turn scraps, fallen branches, and forgotten objects into quiet little sanctuaries. If you love this kind of soulful garden styling, the kind that feels handmade and honest and not store-bought, you're in the right place. We share ideas like this every single week. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from, and how big is your garden space right now? A balcony? A tiny yard? A driveway strip? I'd love to know. And if this inspires you, subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. Beneath the quiet rhythm of morning, an arch of driftwood rises like a forgotten memory shaped by the wind. Each branch carries a whisper of the sea, smoothed by time, bleached by the sun, and now reborn in a small corner of a garden. Vines crawl slowly over its curves, tracing the stories left by storms and tides. When the wind moves through it, it hums softly, as if the wood still remembers the shore it came from. This totem arch isn't just decoration, it's a threshold, a silent passage between the everyday and the imagined. Flowers bend toward it, bees drift by, and the garden feels older, wiser, more alive. You could stand beneath it and almost feel time slow down, as sunlight spills through the cracks like old film flickers. It teaches that beauty doesn't need to be built from perfection. Sometimes it's found in what's already weathered, what has endured. And from driftwood's twisted form, the garden learns to breathe differently, to tell stories again. Next, let's walk a little deeper, where something old, rooted and glowing, still holds life. Once, this stump was only what remained, a silent witness to seasons gone by. But even endings, it seems, can hold the promise of light. Inside its hollow heart, life blooms again. Small ferns curl upward, succulents stretch toward the glow, and moss wraps its roots like memory. As evening falls, a hidden light warms the cracks of its bark, turning decay into a quiet lantern. There's something human in it, the way it refuses to vanish completely. The wood still breathes, the soil still remembers. It glows not from power, but from persistence. A sanctuary built from what was left behind. You don't look at it for perfection, you look at it because it feels alive. Because it reminds you that even after loss, something beautiful can still grow. When the night deepens, it stands there, steady, warm, and humble, lighting the path for insects, leaves, and wandering thoughts alike. And as you walk past it, you understand, beauty isn't in what's new, but in what continues. Let's follow that faint light further, where a path of pebbles begins to flow like a river. It begins as a simple line of pebbles, yet when you look closely, it moves. A quiet river of stone winding through green and shadow, flowing without sound. The hands that placed these pebbles knew that gardens don't need water to breathe, just rhythm, patience, and light. Each stone fits like a note in a slow melody, guiding the eyes, calming the heart. In the smallest yard, this becomes a journey. A pathway that doesn't lead anywhere but inward, toward peace, toward remembering how stillness feels. The sunlight touches the pebbles and turns them silver, the moss hums in the background, and the air smells faintly of soil and afternoon. Children will follow it with their eyes. Butterflies will rest at its bends. And you will find yourself walking slower, softer, letting this quiet stream of earth remind you how movement can be made from stillness. It's not a river. It's a thought, one that never rushes. And at the end of its curve, you'll see an old ladder waiting against a wall, ready to grow something new. Leaning against an old wall, a ladder remembers hands that once climbed it for work. Now it climbs for life. Each step holds a pot, of time, of lavender, of something that smells like home. The wood is cracked but kind, and every scar tells you it's been useful before. Now it's beautiful because it stays. There's a story in how the plants fall softly over each rung, like laughter spilling downward. It's humble, not built to impress, but to nurture. Bees land on its pots, morning light slides across the steps, and suddenly this quiet corner feels like it's reaching upward, not to escape, but to breathe. This ladder no longer leads to a roof. It leads to peace. It reminds us that growth doesn't need to be new, sometimes it just needs to be repurposed. What once carried weight now carries life, and what once stood for labor now stands for rest. Stay a while beneath it. Watch the sunlight trace its way down the wood. Because just beside it, waiting patiently, is a small circle of stones, a place made for gathering light and memories. When the sun sinks and the garden holds its breath, the lanterns begin to whisper. Each one, a small vessel of warmth, placed carefully between stones that have known both rain and silence. This circle was built not for fire, but for peace. It asks nothing of you but stillness. It welcomes what the day leaves behind, a thought, a memory, a name. The air glows softly, gold against green. The old wood nearby reflects the light like skin that has worked, aged, endured. It's not brightness that makes this corner beautiful, it's the gentleness of it. The light moves like breath, it hums like a secret between earth and air. Sit down, and time will fold a little. You'll hear the night insects begin their slow orchestra, and above them, leaves move like distant waves. Every garden needs a place like this, where light feels alive, and quiet feels earned. And as the lanterns flicker, you realize, nothing here tries too hard to shine. It simply remembers how to glow. Next, the stones that frame this light will teach us how to hold beauty in place, even when everything else moves. It begins at the ground, a handful of stones, a circle drawn in dirt, and the quiet rhythm of hands stacking what's been discarded. Slowly, a spiral takes shape, rising from the earth like a memory unfolding. Each curve holds soil and seed, thyme in the sunlight, mint in the middle shade, and rosemary at the crown. It's part architecture, part meditation. The spiral teaches what all gardens whisper, that balance is never flat. It's a climb, a turn, a rhythm of light and shadow. Every step upward means something must fall away. And yet here, nothing feels lost, every stone, every crack, every imperfect line carries purpose. When the breeze moves through the herbs, the scent tells stories, of kitchens, of hands that cook and care, of mornings when the world feels simple again. Even the smallest spiral can hold an entire universe of patience. And as the camera lifts, the stones below still glow faintly from the lantern's warmth behind them, leading us onward to where the garden's borders start to breathe in rhythm with the path. Along the edge where flowers meet soil, there's a gentle boundary, not to contain, but to cradle. Twigs fallen after rain find their second purpose here, woven together like lines of an old poem. Moss climbs over them, softening every rough edge until the border looks alive, breathing quietly beside the blooms. It's strange how something so fragile can hold a garden together. The twigs bend instead of breaking, the moss mends what's dry, and the earth below listens. When sunlight leans low, the border glows faintly, green against gold, a quiet reminder that structure doesn't have to mean rigidity. This edge is not built to divide. It exists to remind the garden where it ends and the wild begins, a conversation between order and freedom, between what grows by plan and what grows by chance. As the day fades, The moss holds tiny drops of dew like memory. And if you trace your finger along the line, you can feel the story travel, leading toward a bench nearby, where rest feels earned and time slows down again. Every garden needs a table, not the kind for meals, but for moments. Here, on a bench no longer than an arm's reach, ideas take root. The wood comes from an old pallet, the legs from bricks left behind. Together they hold soil, seeds, and the memory of every season that passed. It is a workstation for the quiet kind of work, the kind that feeds patience more than pride. Under the morning sun, hands move in slow rhythm, filling pots, trimming leaves, brushing away soil. Each sound is soft, the scrape of clay, the creak of wood, the faint hum of bees nearby. You realize that making something doesn't need noise or perfection, it just needs space, however small, to begin. The table grows older, smoother, wiser. Moss creeps along the bricks, ivy begins to claim the sides, and still it stands, not as furniture, but as witness. A reminder that creation is also care. And beside it, where the work ends and flowers begin, lies a row of metal cans waiting, once forgotten, now ready to bloom again. They were meant to rust, to fade, to be forgotten. But the garden never forgets. It finds purpose in everything left behind. The watering can that once carried rain now holds flowers. The crate that once carried fruit now carries roots. The dents, the stains, the worn paint, they're not flaws, they're proof of use, of story, of care. Placed together in a quiet corner, they hum with a kind of humble pride. Each object holds life again, not as tools but as vessels of color and breath. Sunlight dances on metal, moss creeps along the crate edges, and for a moment, even the simplest objects seem to exhale. This is the art of renewal, not by hiding age, but by celebrating it. In their imperfections, the garden finds its reflection, old things made new, familiar things made beautiful again. The air smells of mint and soil, and a small bee drifts lazily by. Just beyond this corner, a round shape rises against the vines, a wheel once made to move, now rooted in stillness, holding vines of its own. used to move across roads, through wind, carrying someone somewhere. Now, the wheel stands still, but somehow, it keeps spinning in a different way. Its spokes catch sunlight instead of motion, and instead of speed, it grows patience. Vines find their way through every space, curling around the rim like time reclaiming its shape. There's beauty in stillness that used to move. The wheel no longer chases distance, it holds space. It's a trellis, a frame, a silent clock where nature keeps its own rhythm. Flowers climb upward, as if remembering what it meant to turn toward the horizon. Rust and green meet here, memory and growth sharing the same circle. And when the wind passes through the spokes, it hums softly, like the echo of old journeys. The garden keeps that sound, lets it blend with the bees and leaves and quiet. Every garden needs one thing like this, something that doesn't go anywhere but still reminds you of motion, of time, of life continuing in circles. And beside it, where the path curves again, the earth begins to rise, stones layered, holding form like an old promise. Every garden needs a pause, a place not for doing, but for being. Here, between the whisper of leaves and the hush of soil, a small seat waits. Beneath it, pebbles lie like forgotten raindrops, smooth and silent. They shift softly when you step on them, reminding you that even stillness has sound. The bench is nothing grand, just two planks of wood resting on stones. But when you sit, the world tilts toward quiet. You hear the wind brushing past vines, the low hum of life beneath the moss. The garden seems to breathe slower, and so do you. It's strange how a few pebbles and a seat can hold so much peace. They gather warmth during the day and release it back at dusk, like memory returning. The place becomes an anchor, a reminder that rest is not wasted time, it's where time finds you. The longer you stay, the more the earth remembers your shape. And from where you sit, a glimmer catches your eye, a small basin filled with water and light, waiting just ahead among the stones. Sometimes peace fits inside a bowl. The world narrows to the soft ring of water, a leaf adrift, a reflection of clouds moving slowly above. You don't need fountains or pumps, just stillness, gravity, and the patience of light. The water holds its own quiet, it mirrors everything yet keeps nothing. Around it, the garden leans in, moss listens, stones stand guard, flowers bend closer as if to whisper secrets into the reflection. In the middle of motion, this pond stays calm, a small heartbeat of silence in the chaos of green. Look closer and you'll see how the wind writes stories across its surface. Every ripple is a sentence that fades the moment it's spoken. And yet, it feels complete. The bowl gathers rain, holds the day, releases night, a cycle as old as breath. It doesn't ask to last forever, only to remind us that beauty doesn't need to move to be alive. And just beyond the bowl, a rough wooden frame rises, part wood, part stone, a quiet table where work meets art, waiting to hold new stories once again. Each mark on the metal tells a story, of hands that dug, pruned, lifted, and waited for things to grow. This wall isn't built to impress, it's built to remember. Every old tool here once served the earth, its rust is the handwriting of time. Hung against the wood, they look like relics of a simpler rhythm, when work was slower, when every cut and shovel had meaning. Moss has begun to claim the handles, ivy curls around the nails. Nature is taking them back, but gently, like a friend reclaiming what's hers. The contrast between green and rust is the language of this place, the living and the used, the past and the now, side by side. It's easy to overlook such a wall. But when you pause, you can almost hear the faint echo of a garden in motion, the scrape of metal in soil, the sigh of effort, the joy of small harvests. The wall doesn't speak, but it listens. And every season, it gathers new stories from the wind and the rain, keeping them for whoever stops long enough to care. Beyond it, the path opens again, stones glowing faintly under glass, where sunlight plays with color and reflection. At the edge of the garden, light begins to play. Old bottles, once forgotten and dull, catch the sun and turn it into color. Green, amber, clear, they glow softly against the stones, like little lanterns left behind by fairies. Each one hums with its own light, subtle but alive, shaping a boundary that feels less like a line and more like a melody. It's strange how glass and stone, cold, lifeless things, can feel so full of warmth when they meet sunlight. Between them, moss grows like threads of gold, flowers lean in to admire their own reflections. This border doesn't just separate spaces, it connects them, teaching how beauty can come from what's broken, reused, and reborn. When evening comes, the bottles drink the last light of day, storing it in silence until dawn. The garden dims, but the border still glows faintly, tracing the memory of daylight. And just beyond the curve of glass and stone, a cluster of driftwood forms an arch, a doorway carved not by hands, but by time itself, waiting for the next story to unfold. Every garden deserves a doorway, not one that locks, but one that invites. The driftwood arch stands quietly, built not from perfect timber, but from wood that has traveled, washed, worn, shaped by tide and time. Its curves tell of storms survived, of rivers crossed, of days spent under open skies. Now, it rests here, reborn as an entrance to peace. Each branch holds memory, each knot is a whisper from the sea. When the wind passes through, it sighs softly, like a traveler arriving home. Beneath its shade, sunlight flickers in broken patterns, pieces of gold between shadows of gray. Step through, and the world changes rhythm. The sounds soften, the air feels deeper, and the flowers seem to lean closer. It's a passage not from place to place, but from hurry to stillness. Driftwood doesn't ask to be perfect, it only asks to endure. And as the arch frames the garden beyond, it becomes more than decoration. It becomes meaning, a reminder that beauty, too, can come from what the sea decided to leave behind. Just past the archway, along the left path, a circle of smooth stones gathers again, this time not for light, but for warmth. In every garden, there should be a place where the night gathers. Here, the stones form a circle, ancient, quiet, and sure, holding fire as if they've done it for centuries. The flames flicker softly, not loud enough to chase the dark, just bright enough to keep it company. People come and go, yet the pit remembers them all, the laughter, the silences, the stories told in smoke. It's a simple construction, stones stacked, wood arranged, a spark. But simplicity is what warmth loves best. Around it, faces glow golden, eyes shine, and time feels slower, kinder. The air smells of wood and earth. The fire hums in rhythm with the heartbeats nearby. Even when it fades to embers, the warmth lingers, a quiet promise that something once burned here for more than heat. When the last flame sighs into ash, the stones stay warm for a while, like memory. And just beyond the ring, a low wooden structure rests, half bench, half table, waiting for morning, when hands will work again among soil and leaves. This is where the day slows down. The bench holds the weight of rest, the table holds the quiet traces of life, a mug, a book, a sprig of rosemary drying in the sun. The wood is rough, but kind, it welcomes touch. Every mark, every dent, every knot is a story written by weather and time. You can sit here and feel the world breathe with you. The leaves above murmur. The shadows sway across the table like passing thoughts. This place is neither work nor leisure, it's the soft space between. A pause. A balance. When morning arrives, this is where hands begin again, potting seeds, sketching ideas, sharing tea. And when evening comes, the same table holds light, a lantern, a candle, maybe a bowl of water reflecting the stars. Rustic furniture doesn't age, it matures. And in its stillness, it teaches a simple truth: beauty doesn't rush, it rests. Just beyond the bench, half hidden by ferns, a spiral rises, stones winding upward, herbs growing in tiers, reaching quietly for the sun. The pergola rises like a song made of wood, uneven, imperfect, but strong in its rhythm. Each branch carries the shape of the tree it came from, each rope knot holds a memory of hands that tied it tight. The structure doesn't pretend to be grand, it breathes with the wind, moves with the light, and becomes one with the garden it shades. When the sun filters through its lattice of wood, it paints shifting patterns across the floor, living art made of shadow and gold. Underneath, a table waits, a bench rests, and time slows down. The air feels different here, cooler, softer, scented with leaves and rope. You can sit beneath it at noon and feel protected, or stand here at dusk and feel framed by the sky. It's not shelter from the world, it's a reminder that shelter can also be part of the world. The pergola hums quietly with life, vines climbing its posts, lanterns swaying in its breath. And just beyond its edge, a shape glows under twilight, a wooden wheel rimmed with moss, now standing tall as a trellis of dreams. The wheel turns, even when it stands still. Its spokes hold not motion, but memory, a rhythm of hands, wood, and weather. Once it carried weight, now it carries life. Moss wraps around its edges like time reclaiming its shape, and vines curl upward as if they found their own horizon. In the quiet of the garden, this wheel is more than an object. It's a symbol of return, of cycles, of how everything, eventually, finds its way back to green. Sunlight slips through its spokes, scattering patterns like clock hands frozen in the golden hour. You can almost hear it breathe, the creak of old wood, the sigh of wind, the hum of bees circling nearby. It stands between past and present, between what was built and what simply grew. When night comes, the moss glows faintly with dew, tiny mirrors catching starlight. And the garden, in that moment, feels whole. Every border, every branch, every stone leads here, to the circle, to the center, to the quiet proof that beauty never ends, it only begins again.